On this video, I'm going to be sharing why I did a bit of a social media detox over the last few months, what I did, how I did it, and why this is so beneficial to do from time to time, or at least to limit your consumption, especially right now when there's so much fear, so much stuff going on, and a lot of extra time to just be scrolling. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Kara Michelle and I'm here to help you live your truth. And one of the biggest things in this technologically advanced world is the time spent on our phones. So I want to share some different tools with you to kind of limit that, to take care of your mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual health by being aware of how much time you're spending on your phone and on these different platforms, right? So we all know that there is a ton of amazing information out there on social media, on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, right? But there's also a lot of damaging information, and it's so important for your mental health to take care of where you're spending your focus and your energy and what you are consuming. So if you're constantly scrolling on Instagram and seeing things that make you feel sad, make you feel like you're not good enough, they bring about that comparisonitis, right? Anything like that, we want to get rid of that because that's not actually helping you. And on a subconscious level, you are constantly absorbing every single thing that's going on throughout the day. So you might not consciously realize what you're feeling or what you're picking up on, but your subconscious is. So if you're scrolling and you see certain things, they might be triggering you in a way that you're not even fully aware of, and that are actually going to kind of hinder you or hold you down. So for me personally, if y'all know me, if you've been following me for a while, I am a mindset coach, a life coach, and a Reiki master, and I'm always helping people become better versions of themselves, heal and release from the past, and I do this in a really holistic and natural way because that's what I'm passionate about. And social media is where my platform is, right? This is where I share my knowledge, where I connect with people, and I love it because it's so beautiful and beneficial that way, but it takes its toll. So for me personally, I guess a few months back, maybe in December and January, I really took a step back from my social media platform. And for probably almost like 2 months, I was really limiting my time on there because I got to this point where I was having a bit of burnout and I wasn't enjoying the platforms anymore. I wasn't finding the positives in them. I was getting a little bit overwhelmed by all the messages I was getting from people and having trouble creating my own healthy boundaries in a platform where I'm always giving and always wanting to help everyone as best as I can. But the reality is I do have to draw the limit. And this was a hard thing for me to do because I have always been a people pleaser, and I've always been a giver. So to like set those boundaries was really difficult. So some of the things that I did, and why this is why I highly recommend it. So you can do screen time. There's a setting, I know for sure if you have an iPhone, I'm not sure about the other phones, but there's a setting that can monitor your screen time, and it can tell you that, you know what, today you spent 8 hours on your phone, and tomorrow maybe you only spent 2. So whether you're working or not, this is going to be really helpful for you to create the awareness of where your day is going. Especially with people in quarantine right now, I know a lot of people are struggling with structure and focus and probably wasting so much time on social media without even realizing it. And it's so easy. We get pulled into that rabbit hole where we're scrolling and end up on someone else's page and then see something over here and go there. And all of a sudden, like an hour's gone by and you're just like, what's happening? Here's the dog. So it's really, really powerful to create your screen time awareness and look at what you're doing and where you're spending your time each day and how you could maybe cut back on that. You can also adjust these, I think, for specific apps. So even you might be able to see like Instagram specifically is getting so many hours of your time, and that's something that then you can cut down on or make some shifts with. Another thing is notifications. My messing's really messy today. Sorry, guys. So notifications, I have turned my notifications off in 2 different places. So in the Instagram app itself, for a while, I went into my settings and I turned off the notifications for story replies. This was a savior for me over the last few months when I was taking this little break, because I was getting really overwhelmed by the number of replies I was getting on stories. You know how all of a sudden Instagram introduced that, like, you could click the emoji of like the fire or the claps or the smiley faces or the hearts, and it was such an easy way to interact with someone's story, which is great. But when you have a lot of people interacting every day, it can be overwhelming to see your inbox full of all these people who are just interacting with your stories. And it's like, for me, it was a lot, because again, with my people-pleasing tendency, I wanted to make sure I replied or I liked their story reply. So then it was like constantly in there, and I had very few boundaries of space and free time. And I share a lot of my life on social media, especially on Instagram. So if I'm constantly getting messages, questions, replies, just things, then I feel like for a while I felt like I didn't have any personal space, because I had been sharing so much of my life on there for so long. So you could go directly into the Instagram app and like turn off story reply notifications if you're someone who can relate to that part. The other thing is just your notifications in general. So Instagram, for me, I don't get any notifications. It's when I open the app, then I see, oh, I've got X number of messages, X number of comments, that's when I see it. But I don't want it showing up on my phone. And what's so important to understand about this is the dopamine rush. So we are addicted to the rush, like to that dopamine rush. So when you see a like, and your screen is locked, but that pops up with that Instagram, so-and-so liked your picture, our brains get a dopamine rush, which is that feel-good hormone, right? And it sends that into our body. We get excited or happy, or we feel validated, we feel good enough. And then it keeps our body craving more. So then we're kind of like, wow, where's the next one? When's that going to come in? And then we get another one, and it's, oh, yeah, okay, I'm good enough. I'm validated. Someone else liked what I shared. And it keeps us searching externally for something to make us feel good. And if you guys have watched any of my other videos, I'm here to help you feel good in who you are right now. And not because someone else tells you you're good enough, and not because you have 20 likes or 100 likes or 1,000 likes, because you're just a good enough person for existing and just being you. So if you are constantly looking for the notifications and getting that validation outside of yourself, it keeps you in this spiral and in this trap place of seeking versus just knowing that you are good enough no matter what. So by turning off the notifications, you're not going to have that trigger. And I know for the first few days when I did it, it was weird, because I'd kind of be like, oh, nobody's liking my stuff. But they were, I just wasn't getting the notifications until I opened the app. But then soon you realize, wow, I actually have freedom. And I don't feel like I'm constantly glued to my phone looking at, oh, okay, this person liked it. Oh, okay, they did too. Or, why didn't so-and-so like it? All of this overthinking and time wasted and energy wasted on likes and social vanity metrics. It's literally a waste. I can't really say anything else about it. So if you are struggling to take care of your mental health, to feel good enough in who you are, to show up each day with a clear head and a clear mind, then social media and like cutting down and creating awareness around it is going to change everything for you, because these things are kind of keeping you stuck in a place right now. And we all know that social media is not 100% real. We only see curated, filtered pictures of people's lives and assume that we know everything about them when we don't. But it's really, for some people, it can be really hard for mental health and for comparison, and then feeling insecure, feeling like they're not good enough. So I also recommend doing a clean out. So like clean out who are you following and are they actually serving you? There was a time where I was following like hundreds of people on my account and you don't even see all of their stuff, but you keep them because you're like, maybe they share things I like from time to time and I don't want to forget about them. But then if people are showing up on your homepage or your newsfeed on Facebook and they're not bringing you feelings of positivity and they're bringing something negative or that comparison, right? This is the time to unfollow. This is the time to let go of those people who are making you feel worse about yourself or making you feel anxious, because it's affecting your mental health and your emotional health and your overall well-being and belief system. So it is not rude of you to unfollow people. For a while, I felt like if I unfollow friends or old schoolmates or whoever, like what if they know that I've unfollowed and what if they're mad? And you know what? They're probably not even going to notice. And secondly, you still have to do what's best for you. So if it's going to help you feel better to not see some people's posts each day, get rid of them, because that's just going to help you feel better each day and show up from a better place. So cleaning it out. And now I follow like very few accounts. That's for multiple reasons, but like I just only want certain energy in my space. There's overconsumption. So this doesn't have to be cleaning them out because they're negative and because they're bringing you down. But if you're also feeling like overwhelmed by information, for example, if you are a coach, when I started my life coaching and mindset coaching business, I was following so many different coaches. But you know what? They all have different things to say and different opinions. And it made me so confused and so overwhelmed, because I'd be like, well, so-and-so is saying that I should be doing this, but someone else is saying I should be doing that, and someone else is saying I should do option C, and I just don't even know who to believe now, and I'm overwhelmed, and I have no space to think, and I'm losing myself and my intuition and my thoughts because I'm so consumed about what is everyone else doing. So whether you're a coach or not, maybe you can still relate to that, of being overwhelmed by different people and different accounts you follow. So if those people are overwhelming, if there's too much energy, too much information and stimulus, it's going to be really draining. So really limit who you're exposing yourself to on social media. Limit your time on social media. Limit the notifications from social media so that you're not constantly being reminded, overwhelmed, or hitting that dopamine rush for feeling validated. Because if there's one thing you can take away from this video, it's that you are already enough just for being who you are. The social media doesn't matter. It's here to help us. It's here to be a tool. It's here to be something fun, to connect us with people around the world, to allow us to share our unique voice and our gifts and to show up each day. But if you stay in the headspace or the mind space of looking for validation or using it as a marker to compare yourself to others, then it's never going to be fun. And you're not going to enjoy it. You're going to kind of just damage yourself and end up more anxious or insecure anyway. So do not be afraid to make some changes. Again, like I said, I'm so excited and so grateful that I took the time that I did and I turned notifications off. And you know what? Last week, I was feeling great again. I felt so recharged, like way before last week I did. But last week I made the decision that I was going to turn my story replies on again and like open up, because I felt like I've had the chance to reconnect, to ground myself, to show up in this new way. And now I'm like excited to be interacting with people again. But for a while it got so overwhelming with so many things that I didn't feel excited about it. And so that's when I knew I need to put up some new boundaries and set up some limitations and turn off notifications and all that stuff so that I can recharge and do what I need to do and then come back 100 times better. So let me know in the comments which one of these you're going to try out, or if you're already doing some. And if you haven't, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. Bye guys.